Sa bawat pusong naghahanap ng katotohanan, sa bawat puso ng kabataang ito na kailangan ng iyong patnubay. Dalangin namin, Panginoon, na yung mga bagay na aming binabahagi, ito yung maging matibay na sandigan sa mga oras na nagkakaroon ng pagdadalamhati, sa mga oras nagkaroon ng agam-agam, o ng mga bagay na sumusubok sa aming pagmamahal, sa aming pagtitiwala sa iyo. Dalangin namin, Panginoon, na ang mensaheng ito ay magpapatuloy na maghuhubog, na maging matatag, masaya, at matalinong Kristiyano na sumusunod sa iyong utos. Sa pangalan lamang ni Jesus, Amen. Okay. So magandang hapon po, no? So today we'll be talking about, medyo na-shorten ko, no? Hindi ko alam minsan baka tumatanda na, no? So 2nd November 2025, no? Wala yung bear, no? Siguro ba't kaya walang bear? Okay. So, eto na. So, siguro, no, I think so alam yung Book of Joshua? Joshua. Konti lang, no? Yung Book of Joshua, supposedly, this is a transition from Moses, Book of Joshua, to the Promised Land, no? So, this is between Judges and Exodus, no, sa Book of Moses. So, from time to time kasi, we will be able to look into our lives. Makita natin, no, kung paano nagre-reflect ang salita ng Diyos sa may iba-ibang bahagi ng buhay natin. And most of the time, di ba, dahil kabataan kayo, you have a lot of energies, you have a lot of resources, you have a lot of time. But there will be a time in your life na minsan may curiosity ba kayo? Di ba? Ano yung curiosity sa Tagalog? Yung curiosity sa Tagalog, parang meron kang kakaiba o minsan nagtataka ka o gusto mo itanong kung ano itong mga bagay na ito. From time to time, we will have moments na curious ka. No, kuwari, no, katulad ng Pasig. Yung word na Pasig, kinuha sa dalawang salita. Okay? Ano yung salita na yun? Paspas and tubig. Kasi during that time, na when the Spaniards came, nakita nila, no, yung Ilog Pasig natin ngayon, it's not the same size as before. No? Malaki ang Ilog Pasig. Kasi may mga, when you look at Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo, mapapansin nyo na may mga barko na pumapasok sa Ilog Pasig. So it means say, medyo malaki itong water channel na to. Okay. Yung Pasig na yon is two words, paspas and tubig, because yung agos ng tubig, paspas means mabilis. Siyempre alam natin yung tubig, no? Okay. So alam natin na itong Ilog Pasig na to, that's the reason it got its name. No, para bang tinanong, ano yan? Paspas, tubig. Siyempre, minsan ng Pilipino, alam natin, sobra sipag, nagiging tamad. No? Na yung paspas, tubig, naging Pasig. Okay. Another thing na mapapansin natin, yung word na Malacanang. No? Yung Malacanang kasi, we know this is the seat of power. No? When we talk about seat of power, nandito yung presidente. And the story ng Malacanang, karamihan kasi, no, when we go back with history, the word Lacan means merong ginagalang na pinuno. Kaya pag sabing may Lacanang, ang talaga sasabi, may Lacan dyan. So, ibig sabihin, merong ginagalang na pinuno dyan. So, doon nakuha natin yung word na Malacanang. May ginagalang na pinuno dyan. So, may Lacan dyan. So, as time goes on, naging Malacanang. Okay? Another thing like that, no? Another thing, when we try to look for meanings, minsan yung word na, so we have Pasig, we have Malacanang, di ba? Yung Maynilad, alam natin, it comes from a water lily na marami dun sa Ilog Pasig. And during that time, no, when they talk about Maynilad, yung nilad na yon, quote-unquote, yun yung water lily na kilala. Ako kasi, no, when I'm TUP, dating taga-Tondo, mapapansin ko talaga, no, maraming water lilies. There are times na daming water lilies na yung mga maliliit na bangka, yung mga barges, nahirapan silang dumaan. So alam natin na medyo historical pala yung area niya. Kaya Maynilad dyan, Maynila. Okay? So those things now. So mapapansin natin, as time goes on, there are some words that we have, no, like Diliman, UP Diliman, hindi talaga, kung tutusin natin, may ilaw naman doon, pero hindi talaga siya madilim, no? Sabihin, no, Diliman is a type of plant, no? It's a type of plant. Pinyahan, barangay Pinyahan, di ba, Manggahan. So, minsan, there are things na mapapansin natin that represents the area. So, every time that you have a question, like, kumari, like yung word na Marikina, saan ba kinuha yung word na Marikina? Kinuha yung word na Marikina sa Marikit na. It means say, merong magandang babae dyan. So pag sinabing marikit na, yun, so unti-unti, we understand, marikina, may magandang babae dyan. Kasi alam naman natin, ang mga Pilipina magaganda. Wala. Parang walang Pilipina dito no? Okay. So, so bakit ko sinasabi yan? Kasi as time goes on, those things na merong ang curiosity becomes conversation for us, no? Every time that we have those things na natin, there are stories. So ito, makakuha natin to sa Joshua 2. Okay. So ang text natin deals with Joshua chapter 4, verse 1 to 7, and Joshua chapter 4, verse 19 to 24. Ito yung tinatawag natin, no? Ito yung text deals with stones of remembrance. Pero ito, hindi naman talaga 12, no? Para bang alam, one pair, no? Pero, ayun, no? But that's the point, no? Minsan, no, pag kami dati, nung kabataan, no, pumapanay kami ng bundok, pag dumadaan sa mga rivers, wala kayong magawa, no? Minsan kasi, you have a lot of time to kill time. So, pag wala magawa, wala pang masyadong mga smartphone during that time. Meron mga telepono, mga analog, tas ang laro mo, snake, di ba? Pero siyempre, you're conserving battery. So, minsan ginagawa namin, dun sa mga ilog-ilog, naglalagay kami ng mga bato, stone arrangement. Para wala ka lang, may magawa ka lang minsan, no? Okay. So, Joshua chapter 4, verse 1 to 7, Joshua chapter 4, verse 19 to 24, okay? Basahin ko lang Joshua chapter 4, verse 1 to 7. When all the nation had finished passing over the Jordan, the Lord said to Joshua, take 12 men from the people from each tribe a man, and command them, saying, take 12 stones from here, out of the midst of the Jordan, from the very place where the priests stood firmly, and bring them over with you, and lay them down in the place where you lodge tonight. Then Joshua called the 12 men from the people of Israel, whom he had appointed, a man from each tribe. Okay. And Joshua said to them, pass on before the ark of the Lord your God in the midst of the Jordan, and take up each of you a stone upon his shoulder, according to the number of the tribes of the people of Israel, that this may be a sign among you. When your children ask in time to come, what do these stones mean to you? Then you shall tell them that the waters of the Jordan were cut off before the ark of the covenant of the Lord. When it passed over the Jordan, the waters of the Jordan were cut off. So the stones shall be to the people of Israel a memorial forever. Okay? Tingnan natin, next passage tayo. Joshua chapter 4, verse 19 to 24. Then the people came out of the Jordan on the 10th day of the first month, and they encamped at Gilgal on the east border of Jericho. And those 12 stones which they took out of the Jordan, Joshua set up at Gilgal. And he said to the people of Israel, when your children ask their fathers in times to come, what do these stones mean? So, na-repeat. Okay. Then you shall let your children know, Israel passed over this Jordan on dry ground. For the Lord your God dried up the waters of the Jordan for you until you pass over, as the Lord your God did into the Red Sea, which he dried up for us until he passed over, so that all the peoples of the earth may know that the hand of the Lord is mighty, that you may fear the Lord your God forever. Okay? So nakakatuwa, no? When we try to look at those passages, no? Para bang, hindi ko na nilagay yung nasa gitna, kasi hahaba yung text, no? But when you try to look at this, no, when you go back and when you look at the life ni Joshua, nakita niya kung paano gumalaw si God sa buhay ni Moses. Na from Egypt, tatawid sila, so there is the Red Sea, nandito yung mga Egyptians pursuing them, and they have no place to turn to. And Moses prayed, and nagkaroon ng, quote-unquote, na depart yung Red Sea. And they were able to cross in dry ground. Okay. So, wala na si Moses, and you're the next leader. Ikaw na yung leader ngayon, ikaw si Joshua, no? And sometimes, so pag pinag-isipan mo, no, yung nauna sa'yo, sobrang galing na ikaw minsan, may darating sa'yo na para bang may insecurity ka. Hindi nawawala, no? Hindi nawawala sa human nature natin na from time to time, na merong mga leaders tayong sinusunod o merong mga nauna sa atin na magagaling talaga. And sooner or later, pag nawala na yung mga leaders na yun, mga kapunuan na yun, tayo na yung next in line. And that is the challenge for us na minsan. Parang iniisip mo, magagawa ko ba to? Kaya ko ba to? Can I be faithful? No? Kasi kung tutusin, eto na yung ano, no, hindi, katulad ko, I'm already 55 years old, hindi kami nandito forever. Walang leaders na forever, no. It will always be a cycle of leadership that God needs to prepare the next generation of leaders. And kayo na yun, no. Kanina nga, nasa ni Pastor Nobin, no, the fifth generation na yung mga musicians natin, which is a very good thing kasi nakita natin na sustain. Okay. Tayo, when we try to look at it, yung challenge ni Joshua to lead a people, iba yung galaw ni Lord kay Moses. At titingnan mo, no, Moses was very close to God. Si Joshua rin very close to God. But makita natin, no, mas greater ang intimacy ni Moses kaysa kay Joshua. Joshua is a soldier. Talagang ang main focus niyan is obedience. No? But when we try to look at this thing, no, tatawid ka sa Jordan River, which is smaller than the Red Sea. But the Jordan River, kung tutusin natin, medyo malamak rin siya. There are times and seasons na quote-unquote, na very turbulent yung waters. Okay. Now, this is a challenge for Joshua. Okay. Pwede naman silang tumawid ng ilog, eh. Pwede naman silang gumawa ng bangka. Right? Pwede silang gumawa ng tulay. But do they have the time to build a boat and to build a bridge? And do they have all the resources na itatawid mo yung mga tao? So it's a different perspective when you look at the problem. Kay Moses, you have the Red Sea, and there's no place to go but to go back. But you cannot go back kasi alam mo, papatayin ka ng mga Ehipto. Dito kay Joshua, after they have defeated, yung alam natin sa Jericho, no? After they have won over Jericho, tatawid na sila ng Jordan River, they could still stay. They could still stay. But they have to, quote-unquote, go to the promised land. Kasi yun ang maganda, no? Sometimes sa buhay natin, there are things in your life that will make you feel safe. Balikan ka. There are things in your life that will make you feel safe. But that is not the promise of God for you. Okay. Every time that you follow the promises of the Lord, may mga challenges na darating sa buhay mo. But the Lord will not give you His promise unless He is willing to protect you, unless He is willing to provide for you, unless He is willing to make a way for you. So when you hold on that perspective, na alam mo, sumusunod ka lang sa Panginoon, na nandito ka ngayon sa River Jordan, and you have no boat, and you have no time to build a bridge, but alam mo, quote-unquote, you cannot really settle down for something safe. Alam natin, no, there was victory, but that victory is not God's plan for you. It means say, dinadaanan mo yung bahagi ng buhay na yon as part of God's plan, but it's not the final plan of God for you. Kasi lahat kayo nag-aaral ngayon, no? Am I correct? Nag-aaral kayo lahat. Kumari lang. Okay. We have hopefully maging pharmacy, right, no? So, dapat may kapatid kang babae para pharmacist, no? Hindi naman, biro na yan, okay? So, si Allen and si B. Diba? Sino ba si Allen? Ikaw. Ikaw si B, di ba? Brian. Okay. Nagkakabaligtad ako yan. Okay. Tapos si Yenny. Okay. Ang inaanak ko sa kasal, baka magkamali ako. Okay. So, si Jonah. Pangalan mo? Ha? Daw? Edri? Parang eto lang nakita ko. Edri. Okay, Edri. Parang Audrey, no? Audrey. Okay, yan. Ayan. So alam natin yung dalawang magkapatid, hindi nawawala yan. Si Clark at si Kent. Si Fred at si ano. Okay. Si Fred, okay. So, when we try to have our own perspective, no? Parang, okay, si Moses, iba ang galaw ni God kay Moses. Iba ang galaw ni God kay Joshua. Remember, during the time ni Moses, wala pa silang 10 Commandments, they have the 10 Commandments. Ngayon, meron na silang 10 Commandments, meron silang Ark of the Covenant, and they will go to the Jordan River. Okay. Like I said, may mga bahagi ng buhay natin that God will provide victory. But that is not your final settlement. May mga bahagi sa buhay natin, no? Katulad ni Brian, no? Pag graduate sa college, hindi ka naman nasa college forever eh. You're good there for 4 years. And God will give you victory doon sa 4 years na nasa college ka. No? Ako, sa engineering ko, matagal rin. No? Pero si Pastor Noben, mas matagal sa akin. Okay. So when you look at that, sometimes no, yung nasa stage ka ng buhay mo, na alam mo nasa transition ka. And pag nasa transition ka, there will always be changes sa buhay mo na minsan magre-reflect ka eh. Ito ba talaga ang gusto ko? Ito ba talaga ang gusto ni Lord? Ito ba talaga, no? And this is the point na mapapansin natin, no? God knew one day that they will be successful, that people will be asking questions. Paano nangyari yan? And this is the stones of remembrance, no? When we look at our church, hindi pa daw dati ang ECF eh. Ang ECF doon pa eh. But when you look at ECF then, hindi pa yun ang ECF dati eh. Nasa clubhouse pa eh. Right? So unti-unti, makita natin, may iba-ibang lugar, but the faith journey of ECF, hopefully, this is the final settlement that we have kasi nakabili na tayo ng lupa, tsaka nakagawa tayo ng building. No? Parang there will always be a place na sooner or later, paano nagkaroon ng church dyan? Paano nagawa ng paraan that we're able to buy this land? Paano nagawa ng paraan that we're able to raise up at least one story? Paano nagawa ng paraan? And sooner or later, people will be asking questions. But pag Sunday may maingay dito, dati wala nang maingay dito. This is just a vacant lot, right? And sooner or later, people will be asking questions. And sooner or later, mawawala rin kami, next generation of leaders. And siguro that particular story is very important. Why? Because when you tell that story, it gives them an element of faith. It gives them an opportunity to know who God is. So wala tayong stones of remembrance, but we do have ECF as our, quote-unquote, symbol of how God has walked with us. No? So ito yung first point ko, no? Ito yung first idea ko. Sometimes, no, we remember in difficult and dark times, God has delivered us. Lahat tayo, walang Kristiyano na hindi nakaranas ng dark and difficult times. Lahat tayo, in one way or another, we will have our darkest moments and we will have our difficult moments. Hindi ako okay? They're negative. But that's part of the Christian walk. Na sooner or later, minsan tatayo ka mag-isa sa klase mo, at sasabihin mong Kristiyano ka at pagtatawanan ka. Kasi it happened to me. Sooner or later, there will be friends na, no, patingin lang to, no? Parang sooner or later, kasi lahat tayo in one way or another, we live in the world, but we're not of the world. There will always be challenges sa atin in how God will be faithful. Ayun na magandang tanong, right? How strong are you when the difficult times are there? When you're alone? Remember, no? The best way for you to know your character is when you're alone and when you face people against you. Madali kasi maging mabait pag kapwa mo Kristiyano kaharap mo. Madaling maging religious pag nasa church setting ka. But kung Monday to Friday, you're not within the church. From Monday to Friday, kasama mo, nasa mundo. How strong are you? And minsan, no, quote-unquote, sometimes mabubuli ka sa faith mo. Mapapersecute ka sa faith mo. A lot of people, no, before they will tell you something good about you, sometimes they tell more negatives about you. Pag sinabing Kristiyano ka, well, huwag na nasama sa basketball yan, ganyan-ganyan, huwag na, nakakasira ng trip yan eh, nakakasira ng flow yan eh. Those things happen. Nangyayari yan. Bahagi na ng buhay natin yung balansang Kristiyano. But ang maganda kasi, no, sooner or later, we come to realize, no, every difficult and dark moment that we have when we obey God, God will always deliver us. When we talk about God will deliver us in the nick of time, in the time in which alam mo wala ka nang pwedeng pagkatiwalaan, wala ka nang pwedeng asahan, kundi si God lang. That's the time that God acts. Kasi, bakit ganun si Lord? Kung kailang alanganing oras, doon niya pinapakita magaling siya. Alam niyo bakit? Kasi God needs to make sure na ikaw mismo, alam mo, hindi mo sa sariling lakas umaasa. You have to be empty before God can fill you. You have to be weak before God will give you strength. Kasi hindi mo ma-appreciate kung paano gumagalaw si Lord sa buhay mo Dahil malakas ka pa at may resources ka pa, dahil matalino ka pa. Remember, no, hindi tayo, quote-unquote, niligtas ng Panginoon dahil magaling tayo. Niligtas tayo ng Panginoon kasi pinili niya na tayo, minahal niya tayo in spite of. Talented tayo, magaling tayo, maganda tayo, any positive things, it does not really matter kay Lord. So, we have to have that understanding. May difficult times, may dark times, but God will deliver us. Why? Kasi mahal ka ng Panginoon. But remember, no, walang sinasabi si Lord na pag nag-obey ka, lahat comfort zone, lahat safe, lahat positive. Right? Walang sinasabi si Lord na ganun. Remember, no, if Jesus Christ is our model of faith, dumaan din si Jesus Christ sa paghihirap. Dumaan din si Jesus Christ sa persecution. Dumaan din si Jesus Christ na tama ginagawa niya, pero na-misinterpret pa. Right? Maski tumahimik na nga siya eh. Negative pa rin ang ginawa ng tao sa kanya. Right? So we have to understand that na maski tahimik ka, just as long as you belong to the Lord, meron at meron pa rin, quote-unquote, gagawin sa iyong masama. But you don't need to fear. Kasi God will deliver us. Okay? Another point, no, when we talk about stone of remembrance, no, we remember in good and peaceful times, God has favored us. Pakasabi po sa katabi mo, favor. Okay. Yung favor kasi, no, para bang pag pinag-usapan natin, no, ito yung mga bagay na minsan hindi mo inaasahan na binibigay sa iyo. Another word na pwede na sabihin natin sa favor, yung tinatawag nating grace. No? Grace is something that you don't deserve, something that you don't work for, something that you don't earn. Okay? May mga bagay tayo sa buhay natin na mapapansin natin na sooner or later mapapansin, ba't parang madali? May favor kasi binibigay sa Lord eh. Minsan may mga bahagi sa buhay mo na minsan no, hindi mo alam kung paano ka protect. But there will be stories behind the scenes na minsan no, may taong nag-pray sa'yo, may taong nagbigay sa family mo, may taong gumagalaw na minsan. No, parang ako, when I was in my Bible school, no, para bang, kasi one way for me to survive, nasa Bible school ako, no, when I was part of PCEC. Pag meron mga libro doon, binibenta ko yung mga libro na yan. Tubo-tubo ako ng 50 pesos siguro per book. Okay? So what happens is that maski paano, wala akong quote-unquote investment, but the point is meron tao nagtitiwala sa akin. And magkano rin naman yung mga ibang libro. Tagang tsatsagain ko yun. Kasi sinasabi ko, this is just 50 pesos. Parang ibebenta ng supposedly 200, ng 200. 200 talaga ang benta nun, yung 50 pesos sa akin nun. Okay? Just for me to survive. But sinasabi ko, kasi on my own, wala akong wala akong quote-unquote na pwedeng sabihin pagkatiwala mo dito eh. May mga taong ganun, no? Parang nakita nila, hindi ka, wala sa radar mo. Meron ba talaga ditong tao na pag tinignan mo, unang tingin pa lang, pwedeng pagkatiwalaan na? Hindi porket maganda, pwedeng pagkatiwalaan. Right? Si Angel, pag tinignan mo, para bang pagkatiwalaan ko ba ito? Di ba? Si Brian, pagkakatiwalaan ko ba ito? Si Allen, pagkakatiwalaan ko? Di ba? Hindi. Si Donna, mukhang hindi ka pagkatiwalaan, maski teacher niya, di ba? Si Christian, mas si Christian na, pagkakatiwalaan mo, di ba? There are things in our lives, so sa unang tingin, walang magtitiwala sa atin eh. Why? Kasi human nature natin, ba't mo pagkatiwala ng ibang tao? Di ba? Minsan, natutuwan lang tayo ng quote-unquote, pag sinabing pastor yan, pwedeng pagkatiwalaan. But hindi mo pinagkakatiwalaan yung tao eh. Pinagkakatiwalaan mo yung title niya. Pero minsan yun ang problema. Title does not tell us character. Right? Maski sabihin pastor pa yan eh. The title does not give us character. Yung testimony gives us character. Kaya minsan mapapansin dito, no, as time goes on, na yung mga elders, mga pastors natin, sometimes when they speak, they give their testimony. Maski paano, alam nyo kung paano gumalaw yung sa buhay nilang Panginoon. And that's very important. You know why? Kasi may hirap sabihin God is faithful. God has given you favor kung hindi mo rin na-experience. Karamihan ang mapapansin natin when we try to look at the Old and New Testament, these are stories na na-experience ng tunay na tao. That when Joshua speak of trusting God, when Paul speak of trusting God, when Peter speaks of trusting God, na-experience nila They're not just saying this na para bang intellectual lang, na this is the best thing to say. Sinasabi nila ito because na-experience nila eh. There are very things na minsan masasabi mo, credible tong tao na to kasi na-experience nila and they have seen how God has shown favor sa buhay nila. And that's very important. Kasi sooner or later, no, yung favor na binibigay ng Lord sa'yo, sometimes it could be the right word for somebody struggling. Ako, hindi ko alam kung paano graduate ng Bible school eh. Kasi 500 pesos during that time, kada semester, hirap rin ako eh. Di ba? Ako, mga kapwa ko estudyante, mga ulit ako, maybe supportan mo naman, support racing ka. But hindi lahat ng mga tao na binibigay mo yung need mo will appreciate you. Minsan may comment muna bago magbigay eh. Minsan may comment na, hindi ka ba binigyan? Di ba? It happens. Nangyayari yun. Kasi iba-iba maturity ng mga Kristiyano. And that also shows your character. Na yung mga taong quote-unquote naging nega sa'yo, na hindi naniwala sa'yo, maybe there's something in you na hindi nila nakita. So okay, walang problema. But there is something in you that the world will never see. Only God sees. There's something in you that God sees that the world will never see, and that is called favor. Pinagkatiwalaan ka ng Panginoon sa isang bagay na hindi mo sigurado on your own na kaya mong maging faithful. Right? Kami mga may asawa dito, si Pastor Micah, may asawa na yan. Right? Si Yenny, may asawa na. Hindi ko lang kung sinasawa nila eh. No? Okay. But when you try to look at that, for the past number of years na kung tutusin mo, it's a challenge to have a relationship na alam mo, 100% kayo committed. And minsan, lahat ng karamihan ng mga lalaki na mapapansin yan, no? Para bang you come to a moment in your life, talagang, kung ako lang, based on my character, on my own merit, baka hindi ako sagutin ng misis ko. Ang tawag doon, favor. Na may nakita ang misis mo sa iyo na hindi mo nakita sa sarili mo, na sinagot ka. O kaya merong ginawa si God sa misis mo na hindi mo nakita sa sarili mo, na sinagot ka. O meron kang bagay sa sarili mo na hindi mo rin nakita sa misis mo na pareho kayong di nga alam kung paano kayo pinagsama ng Panginoon at matatawa na lang kayo kung paano kayo pinagsama ng Panginoon na ganito pala ang buhay mag-asawa. That it takes faith and commitment and sacrifice and love to make a relationship work. Ba't ko pinasok yon? Kasi that's how God moves in us. Na si God, alam niya one day papalpak ka. Alam niya one day you will be sinning. Alam niya one day you might backslide. Alam niya one day na hindi ka 100% high energy. Pinagkatiwalaan ka pa rin. Minahal ka pa rin. Ginagamit ka pa rin. Binabago ka pa rin. That's favor. Yung first point natin, in difficult and dark times, God has delivered us. Second point po natin, we remember God in peaceful times, God has favored us. Okay. Ito po ang third point natin, we remember in changing and at certain times, God has covered us. 2020, second week of March, COVID-19 came sa Pilipinas. Mga Chinese na nagdala. Galing Hong Kong, Taiwan, then Chinese. Tapos doon, quote-unquote, during that time, World Health Organization sabi, hindi masyadong ano yan. But ang China, mautak. Prepared na kagad sila kasi galing sa kanila no? And tayo, we were caught surprise. Hindi natin alam kung ano mangyayari sa quarantine. Ito ba modified community quarantine, para bang ganyan. Then sooner or later, mapansin natin, limited na tayo, we have stories every day, nalibaw ang namamatay. Up to the point, quote-unquote, na nagkaroon tayo ng vaccination. But we lived during that time na hindi natin alam kung karamihan nangyayari sa mundo. We know somebody na bahagi ng church natin na matay, or sometime nakakilala niyo kamag-anak na namatay. But during those times na hindi mo alam kung magkakaroon pa ng face-to-face class, Hindi mo alam kung na paglalabas ka, ma-expose sa COVID-19. Hindi mo alam kung meron talagang solusyon. But every step of the way, na maski wala tayong Sunday service dito, maski every household nagkaroon ng kanya-kanyang Bible study, that every household, quote-unquote, need to really pray. God is there. Di ba, hindi mo alam, minsan may magbibigay ng ayuda, yung ayuda na yun, tama ba, itong ayuda na yun? You're not so sure. But the point taken is that when we have seen how God has worked, God has covered us, magtataka na lang eh. Bakit ngayon, after 2020, matapos ang 2025, no? 2020, 21, 2021, 2023, 2024, unti-unti, no? Nag-loosen up, tapos parang we're back to the new normal. Try to think about it. 5 years ago, ilan taong ka during that time? High school, elementary? Hindi mo alam kung bakit kailangan nasa bahay ka lang. Hindi mo alam bakit online class lang. Hindi mo alam bakit yung mga magulang mo work from home. Baka alam mo, pero hindi mo masyadong nagsisink in. And try to imagine, no? Me and my wife, even though we have tuberculosis, we're victims of tuberculosis. Yung misis ko, minsan sa yung pupunta sa palengke, na naka-face mask, ano ba yun? Face shield pa, no? Konti na lang, astronaut ka na eh. Okay? But the point taken is, during that time na alam mo, maski ikaw ay may tama at mahina ang katawan mo, lumalabas ka, nagpapray ka, Lord, hindi ko alam kung ano mangyayari, but here you are. Congratulations, buhay ka. Congratulations, nandito ka. Congratulations, you're worshiping the Lord. Congratulations, you're able to see the goodness of your lives. You have seen how God is faithful because God has covered you. Parang sinasabi ni Lord sa atin, no, during the time of COVID-19, I got you covered, I got your back. I got you. I got the situation under control. Kaya whatever happens sa buhay natin, no, COVID-19 is a testimony that God is good. And God will show more His goodness in the years to come sa buhay mo. Because sabi ni Bill Gates, this is from a TED Talk ni Bill Gates, some of the defining moments in history, gera, a pandemic, a catastrophe. Okay. We understand na minsan ang mga projection, di ba, for the past 2 weeks, meron kang lindol sa Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Maraming na-open up na fault line. At ang projection nila magkakaroon ng big one. Right? But God is bigger than the big one. And we understand that. Yes, we might experience some difficulty, but God is bigger than the big one. Nagkaroon ng mga flash floods. Ako, nabiktima ako ng baha sa papuntang Espanya. Sa awa ng Diyos, Lord, di ko alam nga, maliit lang yung wigo ko, tapos dumadaan yung malalaking truck, pili mo, gumagano na yung sasakyan mo, parang hindi na siya kotse eh. Bangka na eh. Nararamdaman mo, gumagano na eh. But God is faithful. Right? God has covered you. Okay. So, eto na yung last point now. We remember in whatever course of time, God, through Jesus Christ, has loved us. Grabe yung pagmamahal ni Lord eh. Before you were born, He died for you. Kaya when you look at Psalms or even Proverbs, I have loved you with an everlasting love. Parang tutusin mo, no? Hindi lang siya imo eh. Hindi lang siya para mga pang-ano. Para bang, how could God love somebody that does not exist? Diba? Minsan, pag nagmamahal tayo, kailangan mo munang makita. Kailangan mo munang quote-unquote maging close. Kailangan mo nang maski paano, in one way or another, nakikita mo sa mata mo na, ay, tao pala to. Maganda pala to. Mabait pala to. Ganyan-ganyan. Sooner or later, okay, habang palapit ng palapit, ikaw unti-unti nagkaroon ka lang ng damin, you make a choice na pwede itong babae na to na maging mapalapit sa buhay mo. At you make a choice na mamahalin mo. But when it comes to God, hindi pa tayo nag-exist, minahal na tayo. Hindi pa tayo nabubuo, minahal na tayo. Because God is not limited by time and space. When God has loved us, it's not because nakita ka in time and space. God has loved us even without time, even without space. Medyo masakit sa ulang isipin nyo, no? Kasi tao tayo, no? But the point taken is this, no? Para bang sa mata natin, paano mamahal ng isang bagay na hindi nag-exist? Kailangan mo na mag-exist para mahalin mo eh. But we did not exist. I did not exist in 1970. Doon ako pinanganak. I did not exist because nagmamahalan yung mga magulang ko. The time that I existed is when God has formed me before the foundations of the world. Na magkakaroon ng tao, the first parents will be Adam and Eve, and the rest na magiging anak nila, mamahalin ko. At yung pagmamahal na yon, mahirap unawain. Mahirap unawain ang pagmamahal ng Panginoon. Ang magagawa mo lang talaga doon, i-appreciate mo. I-affirm mo. Kasi alam natin, deep inside, makapasaway pa rin tayo eh. Right? Deep inside, kamusta ang prayer life mo? Deep inside, kamusta ang private life mo? Deep inside, kamusta ang mga thoughts mo? May galit ka ba? May bitterness ka ba? Seryoso ba sa Panginoon? Those are questions. But in spite of those things, sabi ni Lord, mahal kita. And that settles all the problems that we have. Paano kung magtuturo ka one day dito na nagkamali ka ng doktrina? Paano kung one day magigitara ka, out of tune ka, hindi mo na ayos? Paano kung kakanta ka during that time, bigla kang pumiyok? Diba? Kasi lahat tayo, para bang we always need to project that we're good. Tama lang, human nature yun eh. But tanggap ka ni Lord, maski malay mo, malaki yung congregation natin, umabot tayo ng 1 million. Hyper-faith no? Okay. Umabot tayo ng 500, 300, tapos supposedly naka-live stream, di ba? Pag naka-live stream, tapos na may nagre-record, pumiyok ka during that time. Tapos dala-dala mo yung shame and bitterness. Ano ba nangyari sa akin during that time? Hindi naman ako nag-ice stream. Nag-practice naman ako, nag-pray na ako, nag-fasting pa ako. Lahat ng ginagawa ko just for me to give a perfect performance. Ginawa ko na just to make sure na wala akong mistake. Nagkamali ka pa rin. And even though the world during that time recognized na para bang pumalpak ka, in the biggest moments of your life, pumalpak ka. God love you. Hindi ka naman kasi mahal ni Lord dahil perfect ka eh. Kasi God chose to love you even though you're not perfect. God chose to love you even though you're not good. God chose to love you because of who you are. Kung sino si Lord, pinili ka, minahal ka. Okay ka mag-practice, okay ka mag-perform. But never have that deception na dahil nagpe-perform ka, mas mamahalin ka ni Lord. Mahal ka ni Lord whatever happens. In good performances and bad performances, mahal ka ni Lord. Ang maganda lang din sasabihin mo, Lord, salamat sa pagmamahal na ito. Hopefully, itong pagmamahal mo na ito, maging bahagi ng buhay ko na meron akong thankfulness, na meron akong gratitude, na meron akong humility. Kasi try to imagine this How could God, who is holy, love a sinner? How could God, who is holy, love a sinner. The very nature of sin is against God. The very nature of holiness is against sin. So paano ka mamahalin ni Lord? The only time that was possible is when a holy God became man, and that holy man became a sacrificial lamb to die on the cross for us. And the requirement of holiness to judge sin in death was fulfilled. Kaya nga nakatawa, no? Para bang, pag tinatanong mo kung mahal ka ng Panginoon, you go back to the cross. Kasi, all arguments, anumang emotions mo, anumang doubt mo, you have to ask yourself the question, Lord, bakit ikaw? Dapat ako. Kasi, tayo yung deserving of death. Tayo yung deserving of judgment. Pero sabi ni Lord, mahal kita, and I will choose to die in your place. Kaya whatever happens to us, paano kung mawala tong memorial na to, itong church building na to? We remember God not because of the stones. We remember God even without the stones. Because God is faithful. Okay? So, in closing, this is one of my favorite theologians, si R.C. Sproul. Okay? Stories, stones tell stories, yun yung memorial stones. Okay? But sacrifices tell great stories. Ano yung sabihin nun? Yung mga taong naghirap, yung mga bagay ni Lord, minsan yung testimony na alam mo, day-to-day lang ang pangailangan. Kanina, si Brother Ruel, nagsalta dito na parang number of months na hindi sila nakapagbayad sa pag-ibig. And somebody gave them money. Tapos parang sinasabi ni Brother Ruel kanina, para bang, kailangan talaga maging dependent ka kay Lord. Ako, sabi ko, nung kumuha ng board exam, walang review eh. Sabi ko, Lord, alam ko matalino naman ako. Pero sabi ko, Lord, ikaw na bahala. Kasi memory ko, medyo ganun talaga pag tumatanda. Memory ko. So, let us end this with our Lord's with our Lord's Supper. Okay. Basahin ko lang 'to, no? Mark chapter 4 verse 22 to 25. As they were eating, he took bread, and after blessing it, broke it and gave it to them, and said, "Take this. This is my body." And he took a cup, and had given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it. And said to them, "This is the blood of my covenant, which is poured out for many. Truly I say to you, I will not drink again the fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new in the kingdom of God." Alam mo, pag pinag-aralan mo itong passage na to, parang Jesus Christ is withholding something new sa buhay niya. Basta sinabi niya, parang, I will not drink until kasama ko kayo. I will not eat until kasama ko kayo. Parang sinasabi, i-withhold ko muna itong mga bagay na ito because your presence is important to me in heaven. Ganon magmahal si Jesus Christ. That Jesus Christ is waiting for us in heaven to have fellowship. Okay? So, let us share the elements.